Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's I, the Reluctant Gringo, back again for another episode of Late Night with the Gringo, and it's probably pretty late for some of you out there on the East Coast, but here it's a little bit. About 8:30, we get the football game on, Notre Dame versus Penn State. I got my partner in crime. I'll introduce him in a second here and get him on camera, but it's been an interesting few days, definitely, since we last broadcast, and we're going to talk about it. California wildfires, so definitely the biggest topic we'll probably talk about today. But we'll talk about other things, a couple things going on in video game news, a couple things happening in terms of Facebook, a few real interesting observations from the Jimmy Carter funeral, if you've watched that. Mostly just watching the presidential club, as I like to call them, because it's very rare you get all the presidents in one place. And today we had that. And so a lot of interesting observations to talk about with that. But there's really nothing out there dominating the news like the wildfires. And yeah, I mean, presumably so. I mean, these are the largest wildfires. I've seen California wildfires now for 50 years, and this is the biggest one I've ever seen. And I think it's recorded as the biggest one ever, especially when you take into account the last 25 years at least. Absolutely devastating. Your heart just goes out to these people that have lost everything. I mean, just everything. The clothes on their back. Some of them have maybe one suitcase, maybe their documents, their papers, but I mean, it's all gone. And we've all seen the apocalyptic pictures, and even the thumbnail I used, that was not something I doctored up. That was the fire was heading for the Hollywood sign, and I think the Hollywood sign is still standing. But let me bring in my partner in crime here in a second. Here, we're going to get this up and running. Boom. Boom, and you are. Here we go, little gringo. How you doing?
I'm here. Little gringo.
Little gringo.
Little gringo.
Little. Well, kind of medium-sized gringo.
Ain't gringo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. You're only half gringo.
I'm half gringo. Little half gringo, you could say.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you've been watching this with me. These wildfires, I mean, the devastation.
Well, it's California. We should have expected wildfires.
Well, yeah, I think
that we should have expected. I'm surprised of the lack of preparedness. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And there was a report that I saw. There are groups of people that do reports, and they send them to the government to say, "Hey, listen, the Santa Ana winds are coming because the Santa Ana winds have always been here. It's not climate change. These things have always been. They've been here before us. They'll be here after us, folks."
Right.
They said there's too much dry kindling on the ground. There's too much dead trees. No one's cleared any of the brush. Something's going to happen, and it's going to be big. And they warned them.
I mean, is it that hard to clear out the brush? Maybe pick up, a few of the dried twigs from, catching on fire.
It's got to be.
Or at least just doing the surrounding area. You don't have to go through the whole woods, because it's natural.
Well, okay. Well, it's got to be easier than fighting this fire.
I mean, then I think there was a report saying natives have done this.
Native Americans have been
doing this for hundreds of years.
Yeah. They had this stuff on lockdown.
Digital age.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
We can't figure it out.
It out.
At best, here's the thing. Everybody's trying to figure out, maybe how this started. There's all this speculation. Could it have been a homeless encampment? Yeah, I mean, it could have been a homeless encampment. So, those things got out of control. There was a report on Fox News, 53% of all the fires that the Los Angeles Fire Department and the Los Angeles County Fire Department actually respond to, 53% of them are from something that sparked from a homeless encampment or a homeless group trying to stay warm. And
I can't blame them for trying to stay warm.
Can't blame them.
Granted, I don't know how you light up a whole forest that quickly on fire.
I
know it takes a second, but no one thought, hey, guys, maybe, hear me out. Let's not light a fire here.
No, because they're warm. Survival. They think of survival. These fires can be started by throwing your cigarette out the window in the right place. So it's I remember when I was in high school, and in Worcester, Massachusetts, there was this building called the Cold Storage Warehouse. It was basically a warehouse that was abandoned, but it was giant. It was right there in the middle of the heart of the city. But everybody knew this building, big brick building. A couple of homeless people were living in it. They fell asleep. They had a candle. The candle got knocked over. It created this huge inferno. Mm-hmm. I think we lost 6 firemen. This was during the Clinton administration. It was national news to the point where they had a memorial service for the families and for the city and for the firemen that died. in Worcester that Bill Clinton and Senator Ted Kennedy, who was still alive when he was senator,
Right.
they showed up at this memorial to speak. We literally had Air Force One landing
At Worcester
Airport. It's
That's
crazy.
not an international airport, is it?
No.
No, I was saying, I don't think so.
No,
right?
no, it's barely an airport.
I
I mean,
think
I think it's being used now, but
Yes.
I mean, these things can happen with just a candle getting out of control, a spark. Now, here's the thing: all these power lines they run through. Son of an electrician, I'll tell you right now. All these high tension power lines, all these. It takes one, these things spark sometimes because they get an arc current or they get a little overload or whatnot, and there's a little discharge. So could it have been easier to send hey, to the electric company, whoever's managing these power lines, saying, hey, we're the state government. Every time you go to check on these power lines, here's our guy you bring with us. While you check the power lines, he's going to clear the brush around the power lines to make sure if something does spark, it doesn't, because that's happened before. That was the cause of a wildfire, I think, of about 6-7 years ago in California. They discovered that it was the electric company's fault, or the electrical wiring's fault, that happened. So, I mean, that could be it. A lot of people pointing, well, it's homeless encampments. What if it's illegal immigrants? Listen, doesn't really matter.
Could be a piece of glass.
I mean, it could have been a piece of glass that just got hit by the sun in the right way and did that. It could be.
It's not that hard.
It's not that. It could be someone illegally burning their own trash. And let me just get up here. So I mean, they'll figure it out. There's always clues. These arson, arson. I won't call it arson, but these fire investigations end up figuring it out. But you're right. The lack of preparedness was amazing to me. For 10 years, there's been attacks to improve the water supply in reservoirs, to build reservoirs in California residents.
At least Southern California
have been getting taxed for 10 years. That money was supposed to go to building additional reservoirs, building additional facilities.
Because water is such a huge issue.
And we're going to get into that because everybody's talking about the Delta smelt or whatever, the fish that we're talking about. But so where's all this money going? Because no new reservoirs have been built. And here's the big problem, right? So, yes, you look at pictures like we're looking at right now here on the Los Angeles Times, and we've seen video. There's plenty of video out there. I'm not going to play a lot of the video. People driving through Sunset Boulevard is gone. It's on fire. And people are like, where are the firemen? They're not there, right?
But they're understaffed.
Yeah, they're understaffed. Number one, we're going to talk about that in a second. They're understaffed, but there's no water.
Right.
What are they going to do? They just stare at the fire? I can do that.
They're going to kind of move on and be like, all right, there's no water here. Where is there water?
The hydrants are dry. So there were 3. All right, so there's a lot of misinformation about this. So I did a little research, and I know I'm going to come down sort of in the middle of this, but hear me out. There are 3 main reservoir tanks for fighting fires in the hills. They hold 1 million gallons each. They were full, according to the people at the water supply at the water department. They were full, but the thing is, they ran out right away because the fire was so huge. It's so massive. It's such an extreme event. Either way, but what also caused this fire to be out of control is that there aren't enough water tanks. So these water tanks, they're great when they're full. If they're full, you got great pressure. You can get up the mountain and whatnot. But as soon as they're half full, there's no pressure. It doesn't matter if you've got a half a tank of water. You're not getting up the mountain.
Right.
You're not getting up there, and you're not going to fight the fire. So the infrastructure isn't there.
It's poor infrastructure. It just was never built properly up.
And so again, where'd all these taxes go over the last 10 years? We can all guess probably where they went. But
I mean, California taxes.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate too, because I mean those are not cheap.
So right now, Los Angeles Times. This is a couple hours old. More than 9,000 structures damaged or destroyed in the Palisades from Eaton fires. 17,200 acres are estimated burned, which is charred at least, and then that was just the Palisades fire. The Eaton fire is charred 10,600 acres in the Pasadena and Altadena. Altadena is gone.
Yeah, it's disappeared.
It's gone. I mean, just gone. Now, and I'm watching this, and people are like, okay, yeah. And one of the questions we asked, you and I were eating dinner, and your mother asked, is like, what? Anybody check on Hawaii?
Yeah, poor Hawaii over
there.
I
mean, everybody's forgotten about Maui. I mean, that place
was destroyed by a volcano.
Or not Maui.
Lava.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, the fires from last year. Just
Right.
devastated, right? So who knows how long it's going to take. So anyways, let's see here. There's a way to, there's some interesting here. Yeah. At a morning news conference, LA County Fire Chief Anthony Marone said growth of the Eaton fire had been significantly stopped. At 3:30 p.m., however, he announced that the fire had grown by more than 3,000 acres to 13,690 acres as it spread towards the historic Mount Wilson area. Oh, dear Lord.
Is my camera frozen?
No. Check it out.
Been watching for a while, and I'm like, I think.
Yeah, your camera's frozen.
It's like it shows me looking down, and I'm like, I don't think I'm looking down.
No, I'm here.
You're fine.
I'm fine. But yeah, it's quite amazing what has happened, and yeah. So Mount Wilson, the problem with that is that's where a lot of the communications are.
Right.
So if there's no communication, if they burn down all the if that fire hits all those communications towers, we're in trouble, or they're in trouble because they're not going to be. Further, people won't be able to get news.
This we stuff is a little, we're fine.
Yeah,
they're in trouble.
They're in trouble. So yeah, it's. I'm going to reboot your application, by the way.
That's fine. I was just looking. I was like, been looking down for a while.
You've been looking down for a while.
I was like, should be seeing my head move up.
But you should. Anyways, let me get back to that. They're in trouble if that happens. If that happens, they're in trouble. And Mount Wilson, that's a historic area. We are deeply saddened to learn that we've lost a member of the Malibu community during the Palisades. So they've lost at least 5 people. They don't know how many people have died.
No, they won't know until after completely.
They have no idea.
They haven't stopped the fires, right? They're still going.
Yeah, people, pets, all that. They have no idea.
And plus, because the reason why they can't assume people unless they find something is because they don't know who got out, where they are. It's a chaos. It's a mess.
Yeah.
They just moved. It's such a mess. I bet they're going to use the stadium. Which is why I just saw they moved the Rams game this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, playoff game. Rams supposed to be home. They moved them to Arizona. They're playing Glendale. So
it's amazing. And then
we should tell Bonehead number 2 about that game. You can go see one.
You can go see one, yeah. But I mean, it's a perfect storm of a fire.
Right.
You got 100-mile-per-hour winds. You get dry. You get what? The humidity was somewhere was a little bit below 13%, which is dry.
Dry as could be.
All right. Yeah, the last
really bone dry. No sauce.
No. The last 2 years were some of the wettest that California ever had. But the thing is, the previous 10 were some of the driest. So I mean, everybody points to the last 2 years we had what? But okay, we're gonna get into water too in a second.
It's dry.
It's dry.
It's a dry area.
It's 13% humidity dry, and it's just.
We lived in Houston. We know humidity.
Yeah.
We know humidity.
Yeah. It's a tinderbox there.
Yeah,
that's what it is, and it lit up, and you have all these homes. I mean, billions. I think the last number I was reporting was 53 billion. That's going to triple.
I would say that seems like an underestimate.
That's going to triple. And what were you telling me about the insurance companies?
I think something about the California. I think the state of California kind of pretty much got out of its insurance policies.
Oh no!
Where they came to fire insurance and that some of the state residents, because insurance companies have to have relations with the state in order to be official within the state, right?
Yeah.
And some of these residents who were paying for this fire insurance got canceled like a month ago or 2.
Oh dear God!
And now they're like, well, we don't have no fire insurance anymore. We had it. It's gone now.
So they've lost everything.
They have no insurance.
Most
of them. And they were with another insurance company that is legal in the state.
I mean, but I mean, if it's these insurance companies just going to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, no, they can't afford this. They could afford maybe a couple houses, right?
All right, so 2 things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
One of 2 things are going to happen. Either the federal government, and right now, this is Joe Biden's America, by the way. When you're watching California burn, that's Joe Biden's America. And this is the result of Joe Biden's America. It's not climate change. I don't want to hear about freaking climate change, because it's not climate change. And you're talking to someone who's actually educated in climate change. So anyways.
It's drier.
It's drier, yeah, sure, but it's been dry.
True.
It's been dry. It's preventable. And when you start screwing with Mother Nature and all that, or you start saying, better than, but they had a dam. They had water that could go to this area. They said, no, we care about a little fish.
Hey, I mean, I care for the fish.
I don't care about the fish.
What about the fish?
Screw the fish. No one eats it. It's not something
It's a
people
nice
go eat.
fish.
Who cares about the fish?
Let
Screw the fish.
Leave the fish alone. Leave the fish out.
The hell with the fish. The Delta smelt.
And then
They divert all this water to the Pacific. Now you have the big planes. You see them diving
into the Pacific
to pick up water, and then go. I'm like, well, that's
more expensive.
I mean,
a little more expensive.
I mean, tell me this isn't a government job. I mean, seriously. I mean, this is a government plan. I mean, absolutely.
It can't be.
No. I mean, it's a plan that like we're going to divert the water. Then there's going to be a fire, so we're going to divert the water to the ocean where we're going to have to go pick up. You know what I mean? Okay. It's just government thinking. That's what I mean. I'm not thinking, but so. Welcome to Joe Biden's America. Oh, if he's going to have to sign a bill, Congress is going to have to pass something because these people aren't going to get insurance. California doesn't. They went from a surplus to a huge deficit. They didn't get the money to pay these people to help these people out. So it's going to be the rest of America bailing these people out. And guess what? I have no problem helping people out in situations like this. This is what tax money should be spent on.
Right.
I got no problem with that. So don't think I'm complaining about tax money. What I'm complaining about is the slowness of government. You watch this. I mean, if you think there's a saying, government moves at a glacial pace, right? It just does. And even if they say, even if they all come out tomorrow and say, yes, we want to give billions and billions and help these people out, right? It moves at a glacial, unless you're Ukraine, then you get money right away. But anyways.
Hey, well, no, I'm joking.
So
I mean, listen, those billions are looking real nice right now.
Aren't they? Aren't they?
I could use a couple of those billions back. Can we write an email and be like, hey, guys, can you just... send us some of that back.
Well, they send it. They're not going to. So these people are hurting. They're not going to see their money. What's going to happen is, I think,
and this is what we're talking about too downstairs.
There's going to be these private land developers that come in, these huge corporations, and they're going to say to these people who have lost everything, they're going to look at it and say, the property is a $10 million property, and the owner's going to go, yeah, I'll take 10. Well, we'll give you 6, and
they're going to have no choice. But
they're going to have no choice. What are they going to do? They got nothing. They have nothing.
I mean, to go from 0 to 6 seems pretty nice.
Seems pretty nice, but then you got these large corporations that are
that are going to just make them worth double.
Yep, and gobble all this stuff up, and in housing, it's just.
And then they're going to control the. No, don't like that. That's
right. But no one's going to stop that. No one's going to stop, and they should stop that from happening. Right. They should stop the exploitation because some of that happened in Maui. Or some, I keep saying not Maui, Lahaina,
I think.
Lahaina. I keep saying the Lahaina fires. Some of that happened there, and it shouldn't. People should not. I mean, there should be.
They shouldn't have to feel pressured to have to sell something that's been in their family for who knows how long because of circumstances that weren't in their control.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching a video, and there was this one girl you guys were telling me about, and she's like, "This has been my home since I was born." Mm-hmm. 60 years ago.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Everything in it,
and these people should not be exploited, and again, just devastating, just devastating. We got an article here, a failed state. We could talk about that. What really happened in the Palisades? The water supply was too slow, not too low. Doesn't matter. There's a problem. It shouldn't have been a problem. I love how they say, there was water. We just didn't have a way to get it there. I'm like, okay, so you had step 1. Step 2 was critical as well. It's like, and the whole idea that they're blocking water from going to Southern California is just silly to me, that they're spilling it into the ocean. This it's toxic environmentalism is what it is to me. It's just.
What do you mean? What are you referring to?
You got to think of people first.
No,
the needs of the
people.
Spilling
what water in the Pacific?
Again, we tore down a dam that was diverting the water.
The delta. Yeah, okay.
To me, that's just toxic environmentalism.
Well, that was done before.
This has been predicted. Hey, I'm sorry. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump predicted this would happen 3 months ago on Joe Rogan's podcast. You can go back and watch it. He literally talked about it. Literally said this. And they had firefighters on Joe Rogan's podcast, California wildfire fighters, that literally said the same thing.
Kind of makes you think who's not listening.
But Gavin Newsom's not listening. It's progressive policies that aren't. And here's you want to know the difference between a conservative and a liberal. Here it is. When hurricanes devastated Florida, I kept reading all these tweets and all these posts about good. They deserve it because they voted for Trump, or good because they're conservative, or good because they're pro-life. all these liberals that would say, good, they're happy. Like, see what you get? This is revenge. And I'm reading it, I'm going, how could people really think that? I haven't seen one conservative, and I've looked, I haven't seen one conservative post that say, good, you get what you deserve. I've seen people critical of the policies, the liberal progressive policies, but no one pointing a finger at these poor people go and say, good, you deserve it. Because they don't. No one deserves it. No one deserves a hurricane. No one deserves a tornado. No one deserves an earthquake. No one deserves these wildfires. But that's the difference between, and that's why I was a liberal way long ago, and now I'm a conservative. Because I'm like, I don't want to be that kind of mean prick. It's like I have a little bit of compassion for people where I just like, not everything equates to who you vote for. So, poor people. I mean, just absolute poor people. And then,
yeah,
and I'm an animal lover. The whole thing, people. Oh, but there are some people out there that are doing some really nasty. Like, okay, so I think I got his picture up here. Yeah, this guy.
Which guy?
Mr. James Woods. Okay, great actor, absolutely fantastic actor. One of the best of the last 50 years. Right? He's a conservative, so he's been blacklisted. You know he was a producer on Oppenheimer?
No, I did not know this.
You know why? He took his name off the credits voluntarily, so it wouldn't hurt the film, the distribute within the industry, so people would still, work on it, distribute it. Like he's like, I don't want the film to get any negativity because of my political views, because my political views as a conservative aren't accepted here at all. So he took his name off the film.
Wow,
he still got paid, but he took his.
Does he get an award if they win anything?
As producer, he should. I don't even think he was at the. I don't know if he was at the Oscars. It won, right?
I think it won. Yeah,
so pretty sure it won. If it won Best Picture as a producer, he probably should get an Oscar.
He probably has one.
Probably
right? Just wasn't given out publicly.
So 77-year-old James Woods, right? He's talking about he lost his house, I believe, but he's talking about he was filming it live as the fires. He's like, I gotta go, I gotta evacuate. But then he's telling a story. Like he goes, I checked on my neighbors. They have a 94-year-old man in the house next door. Everybody left him. He says like he's got dementia, senility, whatever. He got him out. Like, but there's awesome stories of heroism and awesome stories of
helping other people, saving them.
But there's stories of like, hey, you left your dog and your cat. I don't know how people. I get it.
I can't get it.
I get it. If you're running for your life, I don't want to judge people in the moment. If you're running for your life, okay, I get it.
Maybe he made the effort, but the dog just doesn't want to move.
Maybe, I don't know.
Right?
Maybe, I don't know. But leaving, but you see the guys walking his horses down the road, like I ain't leaving my horses. Like if Caesar was in a burning house, I know
you're. I can't stop you from going.
Yeah,
there.
You're not stopping me from going in and getting.
Granted, I'd love to go in there myself, but you'd kill me.
I'd kill you before you even get there. James Woods. One day you're swimming in the pool, and the next day it's all gone. He broke down in tears. Talking to CNN about this, and a lot of celebrities have lost their now.
They have good policies.
They have money.
And they have money.
They have the money.
And they trust.
And that's no reason to say like not have empathy for them. Like I have empathy for anybody who lost everything. You lose your memories.
I don't care if you're rich, poor. You lose everything.
But traditionally, they are the ones pushing progressive. We will. I like I said, I won't say that somebody deserves this, but I will say policies that are on the progressive side help cause this easily by not focusing on what's important from like an organizational, logistical, and operational standpoint, because the government does not operationally work in California. There's no way you can argue that. You can look at every statistic, every way in which a state is measured, and you can see how it's declined over the last 8 years. It's not operationally sound. It just isn't. And a lot of celebrities are the ones that are always telling us, hey, we're dummies if we don't vote for these types of policies. No, we're not dummies. Because we want our states to be Texas. We're from Texas. Texas got its problems, like any state. But let me tell you something. They have their crap together. It is operationally as sound as can be
for a big state.
Right. Yeah, it's got its issues here and there. Yeah, it's got its conflicts here and there within politics. But I remember when we had the big freeze, and I think 75% of the whole state
was out of power. Because it just froze.
It just froze over because it was not, that portion of the electrical grid was not managed properly.
It wasn't built properly for that kind of cold. Which, granted, I don't think you're going to prepare for the cold in Texas. Let's be honest. You're more concerned about 100-degree heat.
In Houston, you don't expect it to snow. It begins. You see one snowflake in the air, they all panic because they shut down the city
because they're not prepared.
They don't even know how to drive, and it's ridiculous. They get all nervous. Like we're from New England. We're like,
did you see one person like put on chains on their wheel for not even like an inch of snow, like half an inch
of snow? I'm like, what are you doing? It's like,
you guys all right?
Yeah, it's like it gets to be 60 degrees and people are out there with parkers. So anyways, but what happened?
And I remember this, shorts.
Yeah, I remember this clearly. We're there one day, and I'm thinking, oh God, this is going to be a week. This is going to be a week. We're going to freeze. We're all taking turns next to the gas fireplace because that's the only thing that worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking rides in the car because at least that turned on. You get heat, right? You couldn't get gas, but you could get heat, right? But it came on within a day and a half. And within a day and a half, you had the government on and you had people going, this is the problem. This is who's responsible. And this is how we're going to fix it going forward. We're sorry. It wasn't. And that's how government should be. No one's expecting government to be perfect because no one's perfect, right? Government is people. People aren't perfect. But I was I'm like, shoot, I live in a state where they got on TV and the governor's like, this is what happened. And he literally was like, I'm part of the problem. I'm blaming. I didn't see it happening. Lieutenant Governor said the same thing, and they said, this is what, and ever since then, it's been a priority for it to never happen again. They're expecting a great big freeze right now. Right now, in this very moment, there is a huge polar vortex hovering across parts of Texas and the southeast. And they're like, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. But every day you get the power company for Texas on TV talking about it, like, we're prepared, we're good. I've seen the articles, I've seen I've seen the local news feeds from there. That's how government should work. Yeah, your camera keeps dying.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was working because I saw my face and I was like, oh yeah, it looks like me. Then I realized I don't have my eyes closed.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a Canon camera. The thing is with this, like I said, with this software, we're going to have to figure out how to get your iPhone and my phone because it only accepts one iPhone, which is weird. Which is very weird. So,
don't worry about it.
But that's a nice screenshot of you. I should take that screenshot. It looks like you're getting ready to punch yourself in the face.
Yeah, it does. I've closed my eyes and everything.
Close my eyes. But that's how government should work. And here you have a failed state. In California. It's a failed state. And
I'm not going to say it's a failed state yet, but it's getting there.
I've lived there. I've worked there. It's
failing. I wouldn't say failed
lived there
state.
And worked there. Oh, my God.
Failed state would imply that it's like Detroit.
That's a city. That's a city.
I know. But you know what I mean? You get what I mean, what I'm saying with that comparison?
Dude, I think even Detroit's doing better than California.
No, Detroit has actually gotten a lot better.
So
good for Detroit. I'm happy.
But it's just
and
I just keep thinking to myself, what are all these people going to do? What are these poor people going to do? And that's the thing. What are these poor people?
And they can't even go back to see if their house did survive. What is there left? And they have to leave their doors open too.
Yeah. Oh,
did you have looters?
Did you see the? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Looters, which I love Florida. If you loot, you get shot. Like you get shot on sight. If you got looting, they'll shoot you on sight. Fair enough. I think that's cool.
Especially in like a disaster. Okay, I mean, I'm not in favor of like maybe some like certain, I should say, not feelings, but like rules when it comes to that always. But I think in that regard, it's like when it comes to like, okay, if you're looting in a national or at least a state disaster,
mm-hmm.
I have no problem with you getting shot. You earned it.
Yeah.
I don't want you to die.
No, I don't want you to die.
I get shot. Like I don't think you should be shot with lethal intent. The rule of like go for a kneecap.
The sheriff's down there. They're like, no, we're putting.
Well,
you
the
down.
sheriff's there. I mean, yeah, I know. Do I agree with that fully? Not exactly.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little extreme.
A little extreme for me.
A little extreme.
I understand the right to protect your property, and I respect that. Castle doctrine. Even stand to your ground to an extent.
But so these people are dealing with looters. Not that there's much to loot. I don't know what there would be to loot. But then you see the pictures.
No, the homes that are like not burned down.
Oh, no, they're evacuated, but they're not burned down.
Exactly, because you have to leave your doors open for the firefighters to get in case.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So they're just like looters just who stayed behind it is like,
oh my God,
that house is open.
I mean, so basically, if you're evacuated, you have to sit somewhere and go, I don't know if my house is burnt down to the ground, or I don't know if my house is being robbed
as we speak,
and being vandalized right now to the point where it's not even worth going back anymore. I'm gonna lose my shit. So either way, now you have 2 chances to lose everything that you fucking own.
There's 3 options, and you've got a 33% chance of keeping your stuff, and about a 66% chance of losing it all.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And
yeah, crazy.
But here's the thing: how do the looters get up there so easy? You have regular residents. They're like, yeah, every time we try to go check on our house, we can't go. They get blocked. But the looters seem to get up there no problem. I mean,
well, someone's stuck behind. Some people take the risks. They're crazy.
That's a hell of a risk,
I think. And then the other thing is, there's ways to get around if you need to get around.
I mean, you want that 55-inch or 80-inch or 100-inch TV.
Hey, listen, can pay the bills, man.
I mean, but then how do you get out there? You've seen all the pictures on the highways and the roads. People just abandon their cars. They're choked. They're just it's bumper to bumper.
Woods.
Just abandoned cars.
Drive through the woods, up the hill, random.
Man,
good advertisement for an F-150 right
Material stuff isn't worth that.
No,
it really isn't, folks. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live here. You want to go try it? Go try it. But it's not worth it.
I was checking if my camera's on. I couldn't tell from.
Oh yeah, your camera. I see you right there. Boom. It's just not worth it. It really isn't.
Hey, listen. Maybe they got some sick Jordans.
You know, I never bought a pair of Air Jordans.
Me neither. But I've seen some.
Do you know
that cool.
they average like Nike averages off of just Jordans?
Yeah,
like $4 million every like 3 hours or something.
Is it 3 hours? That's crazy.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
I know it's like a crazy amount of money to make off of it.
I never bought a pair of. You know why? I don't play basketball, so I never bought Jordans.
Well, a lot of people just buy them for the sake of buying them and wearing them. It's like a fashion statement.
I guess it's not my fashion. Okay.
Some of them look cool. Some look cool. I give them credit. Granted, I don't think I could wear them.
No, I don't think I could wear them.
I'd feel too bad wearing them.
I'm getting to that point where I'm just going to go buy white New Balance shoes and just be the grandpa, the old man.
Nothing wrong with them.
Nothing wrong with them, but I mean, it's the traditional shoe for someone like me.
I should go buy you some.
Big old bald white guy.
Buy you some. I'm going to buy you some. Show them on stream. Got your pass.
It's the last thing I need. Your mother buys me shoes, and she's like, "Do you like them?" I'm like, "Thank God she knows how to pick out shoes for me." Because I'm like, "Yes, I like them." So, but yep.
I'll say I like a shoe.
I mean, how many celebrities have lost homes? And that's the thing. People keep talking about the celebrities.
I mean, I care about celebrities, but I care more for like people in general.
Yeah. I mean, the fire, I mean, the thing almost hit downtown LA. I mean, if it hits downtown LA and those winds pick up.
It got close to. Did it not? It got contained, if I'm not mistaken, right? They contained it. Yeah. I mean, they had no choice but to. Dude, they turned everyone around from like the Eaton fire, I'm pretty sure. Once they found out that, the Hollywood Hills sign is close to getting on fire. Get out of there. Come back downtown. We'll go back up there and we have more people from upstate and across the country. I'm sure that's what they were told because I mean, you can't rebuild, North LA that quickly. You can. You know what I saw her sad. I saw her sad. It was sad to me. I don't know if it's sad to anybody else. Matthew Perry, who died, the guy, right?
Friend Chandler. Well, the house that he died in, was like an $8 million home. It's burnt. It's gone. Sort of like.
Well, no one was living in it.
No one was living in it. I don't know. For some reason, it just made me feel extra sad. I'm like, oh, man.
Anything about him has just now been burned completely.
Yeah.
Too. Any connection gone completely.
Mandy Moore.
Didn't he die from drowning in the pool? Overdose. Poor guy. Yeah. Didn't his doctor get? Somebody got sued.
Someone's getting
arrested and sued.
But Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queen. Love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
Her house gone. Mark Hamill, I guess, had some damage or might have lost his house. Luke Skywalker there.
Skywalker Ranch?
Yep, but a lot. And
No, Skywalker is Lucas. George Lucas. Who owns Skywalker Ranch? George Lucas.
Yes, that's George Lucas.
I was going to say, I got it wrong. I was thinking Luke Skywalker. I just put the two together.
Mark Hamill, his house.
I know. Yeah, I figured. I did a U-turn in my
head. You did a U-turn in your head.
That's all right. U-turn.
That's right. For a minute, I thought you were going to say Skinwalker. I'm like, it's not that kind of podcast.
Skinwalker Ranch, guys. Let's talk about it.
You ever
Wildfires? Who cares about it?
Who cares? We got voids into space and Native American monsters. Skinwalker Ranch.
Great time to be alive.
Yeah.
Why can't we burn that ranch down? Come on.
Yeah, well. Los Angeles had a red flag warning as fires rage. Winds expected through the week. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the thing's not contained. I mean, they're saying it's somewhat, they're getting it under control, but it's not contained at all. At all. So, I mean, and then you get the mayor. Holy jeez.
I mean, she flew back from Ghana.
Why was she in Ghana?
I think vacation. She was on vacation.
Was she on vacation?
Yeah.
See, I had heard something different.
She was on vacation, I think, in Ghana, and she got on a plane back. It's just like, oh, your city's burning down. I better get on a plane.
See, I heard she was sent there by Biden because of some sort of inauguration of some political official over there they wanted to keep happy as an ally.
So you send the mayor of Los Angeles?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
You send someone from the State Department, you send an ambassador.
Wait,
mayor of LA.
Vacation in Ghana?
I think her family's from there.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I've never really heard of Ghana as a vacation.
I have a good friend from Ghana. Granted, he wants to come to the U.S., so...
Well, why not? What's the score of the game?
10-10 tied.
Oh, good. Go Fighting Irish. For everybody there in Mishawaka, South Bend.
You might remember this guy.
I love you. Go Irish. Anyways, yeah, here's the article. Mark Hamill says he evacuated Malibu so last minute. Jamie Lee Curtis might lose her home in LA fires. It is a terrifying situation. I mean, yeah, all these monster homes. I mean, they're just massive.
They're gone now.
Massive homes, billions of dollars. Oh my God, look at Jamie Lee Curtis's post here. Jeez.
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't have the feed up?
I do have the feed up. It's just, the stream is behind from what we are. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
That's an amazing picture. That is like that picture could be like
the picture of
2025. Yeah.
That's a real picture?
Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis's, yeah.
Wow.
My community and possibly my home is on fire. My family is safe. Many of my friends will lose their homes. Many other communities as well. There are so many conflicting reports. With all the technology, there seems to be very little information. Please post facts. It will help those wondering. It's a terrifying situation. I'm grateful to the firefighters and all the good Samaritans who are helping people get out of the way of the blaze. You always have the saying, they're doing God's work. Those firefighters
doing God's work.
Those people are doing God's work. Those people are doing God's work.
And they don't even have everything they need.
Neighbors are taking care of neighbors. We all take everything for granted because we're all living our lives. But when it hits your community, it's particularly shocking. Life on life's terms. If ever there was need for the use of the phrase "my hand in yours," it is right now. Take care of each other, stay out of the way, and let the firefighters do their work. Pray if you believe in it, and even if you don't, pray for those who do. So, it's a nice post. I mean, it's heartfelt. Yeah. But I mean, imagine looking out your window, and that's what you're going to see. I mean, yeah, you got to go. I mean, you can't stick around. That's go time. Yep. I mean, that's past go time.
A little past. I would say a little past go time there, buddy. But
that is past go time. I mean, yeah.
It's rough.
Look at this guy. Pratt. Is this Chris Pratt? Maybe. Well, the firefighter putting out. Yeah, these posts, and there's all sorts of other videos out there that you see people driving through the streets, just, which I appreciate people wanting to go get content and all, but driving through the streets when it's just absolutely lit on fire, looks apocalyptic, just does not seem safe.
Does not seem sound to me.
No, it doesn't seem like a bright idea.
But, you do as you wish, I guess. Right?
Yep.
As you please.
Okay, this is from Reason. As officials make assessments, it's likely that the damage estimates for the Palisades fire will go up. Reports the New York Times. For comparison, the three most destructive fires in California history, the Camp Fire, which in 2018 destroyed the town of Paradise, the Tubbs Fire in Napa and Sonoma counties in 2017, and the Oakland Hills Fire in 1991, destroyed roughly 18,800, 5,600, and 2,900 structures, respectively. So yeah, this fire has surpassed all those already.
Should I ring a bell? New record?
It's yeah.
Insensitive? Yes.
Crazy.
It is insane.
Crazy. It's people are pissed. Like, I don't know if Gavin Newsom could survive this.
In terms of like political career? Yeah, a little hard.
I think Karen Bass is looking at the end of her political career.
I think it's possible.
I mean, she couldn't give a speech. First of all, she couldn't give a comment. She's getting off the plane. She's stoned.
That's the end of her tenure as mayor.
I mean, your
mayor at least. Governor, he can get away with.
Your city's on fire, Mayor. Do you have anything to say? She just stone-faced said nothing.
Yeah.
Stone-faced said, I mean, just say something like, my heart goes out to my fellow citizens. I'm
it's a very easy.
Something from the heart. But there's nothing from the heart because she's a politician. She don't really care. She wants to look good. She don't want to deal with issues. I mean, she's all about looking good at that point. That's what politicians do. Looking good. And she's caught in a situation where she can't look good. So she doesn't know what to do, or she doesn't have somebody to tell her what to say. Gavin Newsom was approached by a citizen, and he's like, I'm on the phone right now trying with Trump to get, with President Trump talking about stuff, and which I don't, and the citizen, this woman, wearing a mask and everything, she looks at him and goes, I don't believe you. Literally, right to the governor's face, I don't believe you. The governor's, I mean, he's as good as a politician as they get when it comes to being
a politician.
I mean, He stood in there and took it and tried to kind of meander and weave his way in and out. But this woman just lost everything, and there's no help. There's no help coming. You're on your own, folks. I mean, and your governor's there, and he's like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, dude.
It's not helping.
It's not helping. And, he stood in there, but I mean, for a citizen, just look at your governor and just say, I don't believe you. Don't believe that he was looking for help. Don't believe. I mean, and can he blame it after the French Laundry incident? No one believes him. No one trusts him.
What's the French Laundry incident again?
Remember when they had the lockdowns for COVID, and he and his buddies and had his dinner party? They shut down everything. No restaurants. No eating out. Blah, blah, blah. All this. No, everybody stay. It's good. And then that night he's at like the French Laundry restaurant having this like 5-star dinner and all that, and he's caught on camera. It was like a big scandal during COVID.
I don't remember this.
But I mean, that was the moment people are like, oh, this guy's full of crap. Oh, it's like, I mean, but he's not the only one. You get Chris Christie in New Jersey. Remember that one?
Right.
Where he's like at the beach after
he shut down the beach.
He shut down all the beaches and all the parks so people couldn't go and enjoy them. That afternoon, there's a drone overhead taking a picture of him and his family at the beach. And I'm like,
you can't really beat those allegations. Little hard to.
So I don't, a lot of people say, well, now California is going to change. And this, no, they're not. California is liberal. It's going to stay liberal. It's going to be progressive. It's going to stay progressive. Why? Okay. What state has had the most people move out of it in the last 5-6 years? California. Why? Those are the people that are like saying, we're done with all these policies.
Those are the most sensible people.
Those are the sensible people that went to Idaho and Wyoming and Texas
and realized
Florida.
This is not working.
Yeah. And said, oh, wow, you don't get taxed out of your mind here? Like, come to Texas. We don't pay state income taxes. We're cool. Right? It's good. It's nice. I remember when I lived in Michigan but was working in Indiana, I get my paycheck. It's like federal taxes, Michigan state taxes, Indiana local taxes. I'm like, what in the hell? I'm getting taxed 3 times. Then you get your social. Anyways. But yeah.
Just taxes out the.
I don't see people in California rising up and having this massive red wave in California. Maybe a few counties here and there will flip representatives or state legislature, for the state legislator and state senator, things like that. But the mayor of Los Angeles is going to remain a progressive Democrat.
That's not just yet. I'm sorry.
The governor of California will probably be Kamala Harris in the future. I mean, everybody's predicting that's who's going to be the governor. So, take it for what it's worth. The best the rest of the country can do is look at it and go, how do we help these friggin' people? Seriously, how do we help them? And that's the attitude we have to have. But I did make the comment earlier that before we started streaming, the people that are probably happy about this taking up all the news cycle is the FBI. Because you haven't heard anything about New Orleans. That went away real quick. Anyway, like and I'm going to get to New Orleans in a second. You don't hear nothing about New Orleans. You don't hear nothing about Las Vegas. Never mind. Forget about drones. That was only in the news for a week and a half. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. Focus on this.
Yeah, why would you worry about that?
So we haven't got any answers on that stuff. And this is going to occupy the news cycle for the next few days until something else comes about. And who knows what that's going to be. But what a hell of a start at 2025. What a hell of a start, 2025.
Good time.
It is a good time. You're frozen again.
Yeah, I know. I've been frozen the whole time.
Why are you frozen?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You know what? We gotta.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later.
We have to figure that out.
Yeah, at least it's a good free shot. You know, me smiling off to the side.
Yeah, you don't usually smile.
Wow.
I'm kidding. You do smile a lot.
Wow.
You smile a lot.
Well, get out of here.
I mean, you wearing your Astros hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. Just wondering what team you're rooting for today.
I just got I got different hats to wear. You know.
I know. Just saying.
Want something with orange?
I'm not complaining. I'm not criticizing.
You criticizing me, Gringo?
I'm not criticizing. There's no
Gringo.
Zero criticism. Zero criticism.
All right.
Wear whatever hat you want to wear. At least you have hair. For now.
No. I remember the doctor said keep my hair. You didn't.
I know you have your mother's side of the family genetics.
Yeah.
Your brother doesn't. He's gonna be bald in like 3 years.
Probably. I have a friend who's like balding really bad right now. Bad.
It goes fast. I remember when it happened to me. It's like one day I woke up and go, wow, I'm starting to thin out. Like 3 months later, I'm like, wow, I have no hair. Just started shaving my head.
Wow. Life hates me.
So that's the California wildfire. And yeah. I don't know if you're gonna get answers. I mean, I don't know if again, it's like everything else lately. No answers for anything. I'm not expecting any answers for anything. We haven't gotten any answers about what happened in New Orleans for real. We haven't gotten any real straight answers about what happened in Las Vegas with the Cybertruck or with the Tesla truck for real. We haven't gotten any answers on drones because those are still all over the place. Now they're in Louisiana. Like I said in another stream, good luck. If it's China and they're listening, listen. The people in Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, that general area, they're not like the people on the East Coast. All right, the New England, Upper Atlantic, East, they're not like those people, all right? If you fly a drone over the house of somebody in Texas, they will shoot at it. And they will shoot multiple times. Why? Because that's just the way we are there. That's the way we are in Texas. So, good luck. But we haven't gotten no answers. Have you got any answers?
No.
I got no answers.
No, I got no answers.
What was the last story you heard about New Orleans?
That it was a solo attack.
At first, it was like, we're looking for 4 or 5 people. Then it's a lone wolf. Okay. Oh, information is fluid. Well, tell me how you got to the 4 or 5 people conclusion first, and then how you got away from it and decided lone wolf. Like, help me out here with that. Just help me out. Like just how'd this happen, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need an explanation on that one.
But of all the questions, you don't get those answers. Where was the truck really from? Was it really an ISIS flag? Some people saying he just did it to like troll. I'm like, I don't
troll.
Yeah, that was like one report I was hearing. Like, oh, maybe he was just doing it to make us. No, I don't think that's.
Yeah, that's how I troll people.
You know,
just drive a truck.
Yeah,
not a problem. Apparently,
it's just like, okay. Still don't know why this Green Beret did what he did. Apparently, the Sean Ryan show, which is a famous podcast, had some information, and that's being conflicted now and debunked or not debunked or rebunked or who knows what. It's all over the place. So you don't know. You don't know. You don't try. I don't.
Things are happening.
Listen, folks, I read the newspapers and I watch CNN, I watch Fox, I watch MSNBC, right? I don't believe anything that I read or hear or see 100%, if not even probably less than 80%, because I just don't. It's just the way it is. I don't trust it. And but this is the legacy for the next, what do we get, 10 days left? Joe Biden's America?
About that, pretty much.
And hopefully it starts to improve. I don't know if it will. It's supposed to. We're all hoping it will. But the man who's going to be in charge, he's saying some weird stuff, man. You know what? I got to be honest. Let's get to him.
Greenland, Panama.
Yeah. Let's
Canada.
Yeah,
it's a big shopping list,
dude. He's a little out there right now. I don't, I'm
a little concerned.
He's like, we're gonna go get back to Panama Canal. Okay.
I understand the security reasons.
I understand it completely why we want it back, but
Should we do it?
Jimmy Carter gave it away. There's only one way really to get it back, which is to take it.
Because right now, I'm not saying we can't.
Well, it's a Chinese company that's running it.
Do you think that's going to stop us?
I don't think it's going to stop him, but I think just the idea of,
it wouldn't stop us.
Would we show up with the?
I don't support it, but it's not going to stop us.
What do you want to do? Just show up with the Fifth Fleet at the Panama Canal?
That's probably his idea.
Knock, motherfuckers.
That's probably his idea. Probably make it in a 51st state. That sounds about right.
And now he's renaming parts of the map.
Yeah, Gulf of America now.
It's the Gulf of America. It's a big, beautiful name instead of the Gulf of Mexico. So the president of Mexico, there she is right here, Claudia Sheinbaum, joked about renaming the entire continent.
Sheinbaum? I thought it was.
Sheinbaum. She's honestly...
pretty sure it's Sheinbaum.
This woman is brilliant academically. She's got, I don't know how many degrees. She's a scientist, a professor. She's brilliant academically. She has no idea how to deal with this. I love Trump. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to say this with all the love in my heart.
Bit of a nut job.
She has no idea how to deal with this.
Bit of a nut job.
I mean, he's a lunatic at times, And so
Great guy.
So she decides to, in response to Trump's, we're going to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. She stands in front of this giant map with North America. And standing before a global map in her daily press briefing, I guess she does daily press briefings just like her predecessor, Sheinbaum, whatever, proposed dryly that the continent should be known as America Mexicana or Mexican America, because an 1814 founding document that preceded Mexico's constitution referred to it that way. And she, quote, goes, "That sounds nice, no?" She added with a sarcastic tone. She also noted that the ocean basin bounded by the U.S. Gulf Coast, Mexico's eastern states, and the island of Cuba has been known as the Gulf of Mexico since 1607. Trump, who will be sworn in for a second term on 20th of January, said on Tuesday he planned to rename the Gulf as the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring. I can't do Trump's voice.
You really can't, but it's okay.
It's appropriate, and Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country, he said. Okay. I mean, I guess his logic is his logic, but I don't see his logic goes a certain way, and I'm like, wow.
It's a little out there sometimes.
But she's not, like, her coming out and just doing, like, the same, like, when Trump says something, it's extemporaneous. It's just, like, right, like, he had the idea brewing somewhere in the back of his skull.
And it just kind of comes out.
And it just kind of shoots out, and he's like, yeah. That's a good idea. And she's like out there trying to mimic him. Like, no, don't try to keep up. Do not. It's like if I tried to play one-on-one with Michael Jordan in his prime, I ain't keeping up. I'm going to have a heart attack, So, as brilliant academically as this woman is, first president of Mexico to be a female, to be a woman, she's not ready to meet this guy. One-on-one, he's going to be like, she's going to think that people like this really shouldn't exist, and she's going to meet Trump. They already talked on the phone. I don't think that went very well.
No, I don't think so either.
The question is, how will newly elected Sheinbaum handle Trump's strong-handed diplomatic approach and promises of mass deportations and crippling taxes on trading partners like Mexico? Now, her predecessor, the guy who used to be president of Mexico, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, who I wasn't a big fan of, but some people were, who hailed from a similar strain of class populism as Trump, even though he leaned very left, he was able to build a relationship with Trump as an ally. And he was. And his government began to block migrants from going north under U.S. pressure, a boon to Trump. So, I mean, they were able to work together, but I don't think she's looking to kind of like make a statement. And I don't think she's picking the wrong. This is going to be a bad statement. She's picking the wrong fight. So he's renaming things on the map. He wants to buy Greenland.
Right.
He wants to make Canada the 51st state. What else is he out there doing?
I'm not really sure.
I mean, is he buying anything else?
I'm sure he's got plans. I'm sure he's considering it.
I mean, why this sudden expansionism?
I mean, he kind of hinted towards it last time. He wanted to buy Greenland before.
Yeah, but he kind of made a meme out of it by putting like a Greenland with Trump towering it.
Well, he was serious about it, though.
I guess he was.
I mean, yeah. I assumed he was serious.
I mean, that's
You can't really just post that and just be like, haha, funny joke, guys.
He's going to be like, I want to be just like Thomas Jefferson. He got the Louisiana Purchase. I've got Canada and Greenland. I'm like, and the Panama Canal.
And the Panama Canal.
I got the Panama. Okay, well, wait a minute. There is
The
historic.
Philippines are starting to look nice. No,
All right. I'm probably going to get the presidents incorrect.
Yeah.
But
Sounds about right.
Andrew Johnson made a play for Greenland when he was president. He was, of course, the president after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. And I believe Truman also tried to acquire Greenland after World War II. So he's not the first president to try to acquire Greenland.
No.
He might just be the one that's successful at doing it.
That'd be really funny if it's true. I mean, it'd be interesting, but I kind of do find it comedic. Just magic, he just gets Greenland.
Yeah.
I mean, France is taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
So, we'll see.
All right, and then today, speaking of Trump, I really wish I could read minds. Just looking at this picture, and I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to get copyrighted. But there you have front row, the president and Jill Biden, who Jill Biden does not once acknowledge Kamala Harris or Doug, the first gentleman, the second gentleman, whatever you want to call him. There is just...
Is he called the second gentleman?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, because he's vice president. Okay.
Yeah.
I was confused. Does that mean there's a second? I did not know that.
I mean, it looks like, honestly, it just looks like they hate each other. It just looks like, and it was like that throughout the whole thing. So it wasn't like a one shot, we're taking it still and whatnot, but everybody else was having a blast. Everybody else there was like, not a blast, it's a funeral, right? It's a memorial service for President Carter. And can't feel bad for a guy who lived to be 100, right? I mean, you lived a century. That's a pretty good life.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean,
can't lie.
I ain't making it a century. It ain't happening.
You could try.
I could try. It's
probably not happening.
So you got Melania and Trump sitting right behind, or second row, right next to, and then Trump is right next to former President Barack Obama, and they're laughing. And at some points in time, before like they're laughing their asses off with each other.
Right.
They're like chuckling, and I'm just like,
what are they talking about?
Didn't Obama think this guy was Hitler?
Well, I'm more wondering what the joke is.
I'm wondering what the joke was.
I want to know.
But also, it's like, I mean, all these, the way they talked about Trump, he's the second coming of Hitler. He's a dictator. He's going to ruin the democracy. But they're all like laughing with him and chuckling and all that, right? And then there's, but like, I asked you to look at the picture and say who's missing. It took you a second. Big Mike is missing from the picture.
I forget that's what you called her.
Michelle Obama
I was like, who's Big Mike? Wow.
Is not there.
Wow.
Apparently her vacation in Hawaii could not be interrupted for her to attend this funeral service. Every other first lady's there. You've got Jill. You got the second gentleman. You got Melania. You got Laura Trump. You got Hillary, which is also hilarious to see that. And in the back, Mike Pence and Al Gore. But the Big Mike wasn't there. And a lot of people are like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. And one reporter on Fox is like, I heard she's having a surgery. And I'm like, I'm leaving it at that. Not going any further with that, right? Then you have Laura Bush. And as far as first ladies go, Laura Bush is probably my favorite because she's just a old-fashioned Texas mom. She's no bullshit. She's just like, it is. She's just a nice lady. And her whole focus when she was first lady was reading because she was a librarian. And then apparently when George W. enters the place, he has a still shot of it. He gives Obama a pat on the belly. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, these are the presidents of the United States. George W. Bush coming in, giving him a pat on the belly. What's next? Giving him like a candy out of his hair, a little Obama.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that, Gringo?
It's just funny. It's just funny how
sometimes you gotta be like, wow, Christmas dinner still in there.
He's kind of giving like, hey, buddy, how you doing? It's like, oh, babe, hey, you still working out? I don't know. It's just weird. And then, of course, at the end, you've got Bill and Hillary. Those two, which I'm just amazed that those two still do anything together. But Hillary's got to be like, I've got to sit on the... I mean, would have been fun. I mean, if they really wanted ratings, if they wanted this to get ratings, they would say to hell with protocol, put Hillary next to Trump.
That would be kind of funny.
I mean...
That would be pretty funny.
Because, Trump would try to talk to her and be like, hey, because to him, it's just politics. It's just a game. It's just, he goes up on stage. He gives people nicknames. He says mean things. Is what it is. If that offends you, too bad. That would have been hilarious. I don't know what his relationship is with George W. And
it's probably better now.
It's probably better, but George W. Bush always had this philosophy. He doesn't like to say anything. He's like, I'm not the president anymore. The country only needs one president at a time, so I need to keep my mouth shut. I'm not the president. And he's pretty all chill about it. He's like, I'm going to go to my ranch. I'm going to ride my horses, ride my bike. I'm going to use my chainsaw, cut out the brush. You know what I mean? He's just down there doing his thing. Of course, Bill opened his mouth every 5 minutes. Whenever, Barack opened his mouth I wish everybody would just take George W.'s, you're not president anymore. Just keep your mouth shut. Let there be one president. But yeah, there it is. The presidential club. They had to say goodbye to Jimmy Carter. And I will say, your mother asked me, sure, was he a good president? And the thing is, he wasn't a good president. It was a difficult time for anybody to be president, but he just didn't handle it well. It was just a difficult time, and he's just someone who's a transitional president. He's not really remembered for much. He's remembered for all the mistakes that happened during his presidency. Gas lines, inflation out of control, stagflation. He's remembered for, during his time, 3 Mile Island nuclear incident happened. He's remembered for being a peanut farmer. And he's remembered for his brother, Billy. Billy who had Billy Beer. He had his own beer.
Did he?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, Billy Beer. You look that up. The only, people, and I did a lot of work on politics during my master's degree, during that whole era, from Carter to Reagan to Bush. And the one thing he did do, and I totally appreciate this about Jimmy Carter, is that he linked human rights with foreign aid from the United States. Actually made it a law. They actually created a whole little department that would actually oversee it. That said, basically, if your human rights record as a country is awful or bad, you don't get any money from us. I don't care who you are as an ally. I don't care what base you allow us to use. I don't care. Didn't matter. If it was like an absolute veto. If you had a poor human rights record, you didn't get any money from us. Now, Reagan changed all that when he came into office. That's one of the things Reagan got rid of real quick. And I think Carter began to get rid of it towards the end of his presidency because he had to, because he's like, okay, well, they took hostages in Iran. The Iran hostage thing. And he's like, I need allies, and to do that, I need foreign aid, and to do that, I need to make friends with some people that I'm not necessarily wanting to be friends with. It's the lesser of two evils. So, but he tried to do that. Tried to link human rights, which I thought was yeah, I want the United States to give money to people that deserve it. I want, you treat your people good. You don't slaughter them. You let them vote. You let them, participate in the democratic process. You let children go to school, regardless if they're a boy or a girl. You let people have freedom of religion. You let people have freedom of speech. You let people have freedom of assembly. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll help you out. You don't do those things, maybe we don't help you out. No, you never. The first president you had was.
Oh, well, I think he was Bush.
No, 2003.
I was born 2003, so I had Bush.
You had Bush, yeah, for like 2 months.
No.
Yeah.
Obama got elected in 08.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah.
Wow, Gringo.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Gringo.
I'm sorry, I'm getting the years mixed up.
Get out of here.
You had Bush for so I had Carter.
I was just thinking. I was like, you want to fix this?
And I've gone through Carter, and I remember Carter. I wasn't so young that I don't remember some of the stuff he did. Carter, Reagan, Bush Sr., Clinton. That was fun times. Clinton was fun. I mean, whether you liked what he was doing or not, whenever he got up to speak, it was like, oh boy, here we go. Because you're like, how's he going to spin whatever bullshit he's going to spin? Because it was just hilarious. It depends. I did not have, it's just, I remember watching that live going, wow, this is amazing. So we had Clinton, then Bush Jr., or Bush W., and then Obama, and then Trump. So definitely interesting. Had a lot of presidents. But yeah, they laid to rest in peace, Mr. President James Carter. Oh boy, let's talk about something else. Oh, this is not so fun. Okay. Oh, people are pissed at Mark Zuckerberg. The liberal media is pissed at Mark Zuckerberg. Absolutely pissed off. I don't know if this is going to play. Yeah. So Mark Zuckerberg posted this from Meta, Facebook, Instagram, all that. And it's been making the rounds over the last couple of days. And yeah, it's about free expression. It seems like he's taking down the fact checkers.
Mm-hmm.
God bless. Good. Get him out of here. And he gives a pointed blank expression that the fact checkers are too politically biased. And so they're not doing their job correctly. They're actually censoring. And the thing about this whole thing, and I don't know if the sound will play if I play it. I don't know if it's playing on the stream. If you want to check that for me.
I'm behind.
Oh, you are behind.
There's a delay in the stream, so we will see. Do you have it up already or no?
Oh yeah.
I don't see anything. It's like you haven't put it on screen. Here you go.
Well, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go.
Hey everyone. I want to talk about
I'll start
something
playing
important
it right
today.
But
because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression. And I still believe this today.
Free speech.
But a lot has happened over the last several years.
A lot has happened over the past several years, he says. You know what happened over the past several years? He censored information.
It does play.
Okay. He censored information. He censored it. Like, just come out first, tell me, like, hey, I censored people. I censored Joe Rogan. I mean, he censored Joe Rogan. He censored the New York Post. Well, Twitter censored the New York Post, but he also had a hand in some of that with his platforms. Anything that went against the whole narrative for COVID, they censored. They did it on behalf of the government, but they did it. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. I get it. As a businessman, he's like, I don't want the government on my back, so I'll do what they asked me to do.
There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more.
Rest here for a second.
And more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there.
There's legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. Yeah, this is
child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously.
Very big lag. But I mean, he's part of the problem. Now he's like now he's going to be part of the solution. Meta platforms are built. So okay, let's read the statement instead. I don't want people to have to deal with that, but maybe.
And I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts.
Wait a minute. They built a lot of complex systems. No, they didn't build. It's an algorithm. It's not. It's programmed. It's programmed to find certain words and go censor. That's what it's programmed to do. Even if they accidentally censor just 1%, which they accidentally were censoring people they shouldn't be censoring, is what he's admitting. 1%. How many posts do you think there are on a day in Instagram and Facebook?
I can't guess.
Millions, right?
Yeah.
Millions, maybe even billions. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Most people make more than one post a day usually.
Okay, let's just throw a number out there. Let's say 500 million worldwide.
Yeah, sure.
What's 1% of 500 million?
5 million.
5 million. 5 million posts were censored incorrectly? That's crazy.
That's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes.
That is quite the...
and too
many mistakes, too much censorship, he's saying. But he's the guy who was...
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
Basically, he's saying, I see how the country's voted,
and focus on
I want to make
mistakes,
a smart business decision,
simplifying our policies,
and I see where it's going.
Restoring free expression.
It's all business, it's all money.
More specifically,
I mean, whether he believes this or not, who knows what he believes.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers
and why
replace
doesn't he
them
blink?
with community notes, similar to
He doesn't blink.
Starting in the U.S.
Oh, there he goes. He just blinked.
After
Blink
Trump
once.
first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried
Legacy
in
media.
good faith
He's harping
to
on the
address
legacy
those
media.
concerns
Dude, he
without
sounds like
becoming
Trump.
the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too
Really?
politically biased.
Grant, I can't.
There he
and
is.
have
Fact checkers
destroyed
have
more
become too
trust than
politically
they've
biased
created, especially
and have
in the US.
destroyed, especially
So
in
over
the
the
US.
next couple of months,
so over the next
we're going to
couple of
phase
months,
in a more
we're trying to-
comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just...
Okay, so they're going to do like Twitter or X, community notes. Fine, cool. And they're going to open up their platform a little bit so like things like you can have a discussion about immigration. You can have a discussion about gender. You can have a discussion about things that were controversial. Now, I'm about to post something tomorrow that's probably going to... I told your mother, I said, I don't know if it's going to piss off YouTube to the point where they shut me off, but I'm doing a movie review, and I go pretty hard on this movie review because it's, it's gender issues. And I don't know. It's what I think. It's authentic. My opinion. It riled me up pretty good, so I'm giving a review. So I don't know. Maybe YouTube hasn't. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It all seems good. I mean, I'm all for this. I mean, if this is started, I don't use Facebook and Instagram, and the reason why I never did is because
been used to shut.
I don't use Facebook and Instagram. The reason I never did because you guys used to tell me there's all sorts of censorship on it. You guys used to tell me, be careful, don't say this, don't say that, don't do this, don't do that. I'm like, okay. So maybe I'll start. I don't know. Facebook became a thing when I was a kid, like when I was 20, 18, whatever. I'm this guy's age practically, so I don't know if Facebook's even relevant anymore, but we'll see. Instagram, I know you use Instagram. I know your mother uses it. I know most people use it. It's like the preferred choice, that and Twitter, or that and X. I keep calling it Twitter. I'm sorry, Elon. I'm gonna buy your internet. Don't worry, Starlink.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations.
So now they're going to have filters that are more refined, that go after serious and severe violations instead of just casting this wide net, which was probably more focused on if you're conservative or conservatism or anything conservative, it was going to get flagged. So now they're going to go after we're going to go after criminals, which is what they should be doing, like real nasty stuff that no one wants.
And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue.
Right.
before we take action.
Again, give it some time. Which, again, okay, I'm all for this. And then if for the minor violations, you have to wait for someone else to report it. So if I see something I don't like, I report it, they investigate it. But does that trigger a violation, or do they just, like, how does that work? Like, half the stuff I post, someone in California probably would be like, I don't like that.
Right. They probably look at the algorithm for the people who are probably suggesting it, seeing if there's like a similarity between the groups of people.
Interesting.
That's what I would imagine.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't.
Oh, this thing is just terrible. This is Meta's own thing.
This is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff.
We're going to catch less bad stuff. Yeah, you're going to catch less bad stuff. All right, well, I get it. Well, all right, thanks, Mark. So, no more fact checkers. They're moving to... Oh, I did read they're moving to Austin. Or moving to Texas. They're moving that part of the business to Texas.
Right.
Everybody's moving to Texas. The taxes are great there. They're emptying out of California. Okay. People could sign up today. Facebook, Instagram, Threads. That's still up.
Yeah, it's still up.
For the opportunity to be among the first contributors to this program as it becomes available. Allowing more speech, blah, blah, blah. Personalized approach to political content, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, we've discussed it before, but seems pretty standard to me for a new president coming in.
Yeah.
Not much for me to comment, really.
But he doesn't ever take responsibility for anything throughout this whole thing.
And why would he?
I mean, he did censor people. He was part of, like, it's his company.
Still? Why would you do that? Why would you?
It would be nice for him to come out and say, "Listen,
God, yeah, it should be nice, but that'd be dumb too. Pretty dumb. There goes your stock price, gringo."
I don't know about stock price, but the liberal media is all pissed off. The liberal media is all pissed off. Trump's tech oligarchy welcomes Mark Zuckerberg into the fold. Now they're calling the because they got Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all cozying up to Trump. Now they're calling it the tech oligarchy.
It's a cool name.
It is a cool name. I wish I was part of it. Because right there, those three names right there, they control more money than 99.9999% of the rest of the world put together, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. Why not? You want smart, rich people around? That's fine. What is this? Are they okay, hold on. I just read 9/11. Okay, hold on.
Sorry, what are you talking about? Sorry, hold on.
All right, hold on.
Can't really just mention
With
that.
less than 2 weeks until Donald Trump takes office, this is by Chris Hayes from MSNBC, who's got absolute Trump derangement syndrome. Like, he's a nut job. With less than 2 weeks until Donald Trump takes office, an actual real life, not metaphorical, oligarchy is coalescing around the president-elect. It's pretty unprecedented in the context of the United States and ominous in many respects, but it is also a generally clarifying development for the pro-democracy coalition, especially as it prepares its opposition to the second Trump administration. So they're calling themselves, the liberal progressives are now calling themselves the pro-democracy coalition as they prepare to be the opposition to Trump. He goes, I think there's a recent historical parallel for this that could be instructive. The George W. Bush years after 9/11. It's easy to forget now that before September 11, 2001, Bush was not an especially popular president. He had lost the popular vote but won the election, in large part thanks to his brother's government in Florida and a Republican Supreme Court that his father had helped put together. Okay, so basically they're saying Bush stole the election. But anyways, thought we weren't supposed to say that. But all that changed on a dime after the attacks on America. Days after 9/11, Bush's approval had skyrocketed to nearly 90%. All of a sudden, everyone seemed to decide this guy was a great, brilliant, courageous hero, and the country was willing to get behind him. As anybody would, because we got attacked, idiot. You saw the whole of American society falling in line behind him, from the media to the corporate boardrooms to the country music charts. What's wrong with country music?
No clue.
In some ways, there was something clarifying. Again, he's using that word again. Dude, you got to get a thesaurus. You're a professional journalist. Stop using the same word twice within 3 paragraphs. There was something clarifying about being in the distant minority at that time. Oh, he was in the minority, I bet. All the powerful people were on one side and you were on the other. That minority, which I was a part of, was convinced Bush and all the powerful people siding with him were wrong and we were right. Wrong about what? Are you comparing Afghanistan and Iraq together? Because Iraq, yes, we were wrong to go in Iraq, and there was definitely opposition to going to Iraq. But as far as going to Afghanistan and fighting the Taliban, there was no one. I mean, I don't see how you could be. Granted, the war didn't go. Wasn't processed the way it should have been. By the time he imploded the economy, he didn't implode the economy in the Great Recession. George W. Bush had nothing to do with the Great Recession. Those things that imploded the economy in the Great Recession were put into place in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, and they've been around since then. Those economic tools for mortgages. Why are we talking
about this?
Huh?
Why are we talking about this? I'm sorry.
Because of the oligarchy, Mark Zuckerberg and this guy writing this.
Why are we talking about 2008?
Because he's comparing being the opposition to Trump as to being the opposition to George W. Bush.
All right.
I know it doesn't make sense, but
you lost me already here, Gringo.
Thanks for saying that on stream. Appreciate that. Anyways.
You lost me in the sense of I don't even know what's going on no more. What is this article trying to point out?
He's trying to compare Trump to Bush post 9/11.
And the relation is what?
I don't know. He never puts it up.
That's my point. It's just
So there's just a lot of Trump derangement syndrome. So people are losing their minds, and he thinks he's the martyr. The liberal media is the martyr. So, but anyways, seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
And George, just ridiculous. That's a lot of politics. Let's get to something more fun.
I'm almost talked out here about politics, to be honest. Fires, politics, drones.
Let's talk video games.
Oh, God. I don't even know what's up yet. I can't.
We're gonna move politics. We were politicked out. Just so much lunacy out there right now at this point. Just like I said, just everything going on. Assassin's Creed Shadows release date delayed again as Ubisoft prepares for potential sale. That's not good.
No, I mean, it's expected.
But they're done.
I mean, we talked about this last
Ubisoft
time already.
Done.
I mean, we already talked about this before, right? I mean, we're not surprised.
They're done. Shifting from February 14th to March 20th, the delay will allow the team to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best conditions for launch by continuing to engage closely with the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community. That sounds bad.
No, don't sound good. Does not sound good. Sounds pretty rough. Pretty bad.
Yeah. This is part of a strategic update. Press release, this whole pushing it back. Okay, Tencent and the family of Ubisoft co-founder and CEO Yves Guillemot were exploring a buyout of the France-based Ubisoft amid the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows and the bumpy August release of Star Wars Outlaws. Per the Thursday announcement, quote, following the strategic and execution reviews initiated by the executive committee a few months ago, Ubisoft is taking decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences, enhance operational efficiency, and maximize value creation. So far, I don't see.
It's a bunch of corporate.
Yeah, it's a bunch of corporate
BS
bullshit.
to tell you we're looking to sell and we don't want to drive a buyer away.
Ubisoft announced today that it has appointed leading advisors to review and pursue various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. My God, I worked in corporate America. All that means is we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Please buy us. Please buy us.
I worked in corporate America. This is corporate speak, and it's just it's nonsense. It's nonsense words.
This sounds like something I would write.
This process will be overseen by the independent members of the board of directors. Ubisoft will inform the market in accordance with applicable regulations if and once a transaction materializes. So yeah, they're going to be selling. They're going to be selling. And then this game's going to be crap. I ain't buying this game even to review it. I bought Skull and Bones, reviewed it. I bought Star Wars Outlaws to review it. I am not buying Assassin's Creed Shadow. I mean, if it had a Japanese samurai as the main character, I'd buy it. But it doesn't. I don't need a race-swapped samurai in my first ever Japanese samurai game. I just don't. I'd rather just go watch Shogun again. Okay?
Sounds about right.
So, Assassin's Creed. Boom. Anyways.
Anything else there?
No, that's good. All right. How you been doing? What's the score of the game here?
It's tied, and it's 1:20 left.
Go Irish.
And I believe the Irish have the ball. I could be wrong.
What's wrong with that dude? He looks in pain.
He's injured. Probably.
Roll him off the field. What's with this whole stop the game stuff?
Hey! Well, who's a Jeter here? We have another Jeter.
Jeter. He's the kicker. Jeter.
I know, but is he related to Jeter?
I don't think so. I'm gonna go with no. He's not related to Derek Jeter. Always like the helmets of the Irish. They're all gold. We have to make a date.
You like their helmets?
I do. We have to make a date of when we're going to go back to the Toy Fair.
Mexico City?
Yeah, to do a live stream. We're going to live stream from the Toy Fair.
You should probably figure out when that Toy Fair is.
It's every Saturday. Right next to Hidalgo.
Your favorite place.
My favorite subway stop. It's my favorite subway stop because there's usually that area is cordoned off. And never mind. You'll see when I get there.
I know that.
But it's going to be Saturday.
I've been to Hidalgo.
But doesn't Friday turn into not Friday? Doesn't February turn into rainy season? I think February is when it begins to rain. It rains all February, so it would be bad to go streaming in February.
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
We can't do it in January.
You could try February.
How about for my birthday? It's like my birthday stream. Go to the Toy Fair.
It'd be funny if you got robbed.
I've been robbed before in Mexico. It's okay.
Have you?
I've been pickpocketed.
Have you?
Yeah.
What?
So does your mother.
I know. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, they took my for some reason they took my glasses. I felt them take my glasses right in my pocket and take off.
Didn't you say that you left them in a taxi?
No.
That was the story I was told.
No, I didn't leave them in a taxi. No. That was I thought I did, but then I found them, and then they got in Sanborns. But your mother had her phone taken. Your grandmother had her phone taken. You've had your bag opened, right?
Right.
And someone tried to open your bag as you were carrying it behind you. So we've been robbed. Anyways. But we have to you got a calendar up there? What are the dates of the Saturdays in March?
I don't know. That's a good question. March. Let's see here. Saturdays. We got the 8th. We get the 15th. Get the 22nd.
The Ides of March.
And the 29th.
It's got to be either the 8th or the 15th.
Probably the 8th.
Let's do the 8th.
Do the 8th. It's like your birthday stream. That way you can spend your birthday.
Which March 8th is not my birthday, but it's close enough.
It's close enough. We can change the date on that certificate.
The Toy Fair. Love the Toy Fair. All right. With that, I think we're going to call it. We've been on stream for a little bit. Been talking a little bit. I think my voice has about had it.
No, my voice is starting to go.
And then we're going to play some video games. But thanks, everybody, for...
Catch the last minute of this game.
Yeah, catch the last minute. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for liking, subscribing. Check out the rest of the channel. I just posted Metamorpho a few days ago, and I will be posting my review of Emilia Perez tomorrow. You won't want to miss that one. With that, I am still
your favorite movie, no?
My favorite movie.
Say it with vigor, pride.
What a piece of crap. From somewhere south of the border, I'm still your reluctant gringo. I thank you for watching. For everybody here, salut and a huevo.
Adios.